Hello, I'm Full Paragon, and it's time for some rampant speculation as to what's going to be coming in Konosuba Fantastic Days in the first half of 2023. So to start things off, in reality, we have a January calendar released by Nexon which shows us which the next 4 banners will be. Nexon has previously stated that they will be following the Japanese banner order. However, the January calendar does not follow the Japanese order. There are no limited banners on this calendar, or any dungeons, and there's a double light arena for reasons. So we have to stop and think, what is coming and what order will it be in so that we can most effectively plan how to spend our resources. So if you guys have never seen it, there was at one point a guide called the Konosuba Fantastic Days Ultimate Guide, originally created by Keystar. These days it's maintained by myself and Raven, who does most of the work on this, and it shows the order of all banners in Japan as well as the historical order of all banners in Global. We've already put in what the January 2023 banners are going to be for Global, and there'll be a link in the description if you want to peruse this document for yourself. But as you can see, we'll be getting the Axel Hearts 2 banner featuring Idol Meru, the Pajama 5 banner, and the Kenpo 3 banner. But if you look at what order Japan got these banner-ins, while this is the order they got them in, we are missing both of the Halloween banners as well as both of the Overlord banners, as Halloween came before Pajama 3 and Overlord came before Kenpo 3. So what's going on here, and how should we be planning to spend our hard-earned quartz? So for the first time, we're going to see permanent banners surpass the limited banners in Global. Historically, our limited banners have come about 6 months before the permanent banner crop. What that means is we won't have completely overpowered limited banners that will utterly dominate the meta, which is a good and a bad thing. We might be skipping Halloween completely, we'll have to see, and we should get Overlord in February. However, right after that, we should get the Christmas banner with Festival Chris sometime around March. To pause and take a look at the Overlord Collab, it's probably going to come in February, but we don't know that for certain. Nexon has merely stated that Overlord, or at least the next collab, will be coming in early 2022, and by most metrics, January and February would be early in the year, so that's the most likely for it to come. We do know that it will be 2 banners, the first of which will have Kazuma, Darkness, and Ainz, and the second banner will have Shaltir and Megami. Shaltir and Ainz are really the only good ones here. The Welfare Albedo is just not worth using at all. Compared to Belle and Amelia, she's quite anemic. This is a good banner. Specifically, Ainz and Shaltir will see some meta usage, Ainz for quite a while probably. But there aren't any triple S tier broken units here like Maid Megamine, Amelia, or even Eyes from the Danmachi banner. So while this is a good banner and these units will probably never show up again, if you're just a meta chaser, this isn't the banner. No, if all you are chasing is the meta, the best banner is going to be the Festival Chris banner. She is the most busted character ever released in Konosuba Fantastic Days, with the possible exception of ReZero Megamine, who continues to be the biggest mistake Nexon ever made. However, Festival Chris deals an absolutely insane amount of damage, and due to an upcoming change in how buffs work in the game, she's going to be buffing both magic and physical attack, making her incredibly powerful. The 2 Crimson Demons on this banner, Union and Megamine, are also fine, but you're really after Festival Chris here. Don't miss this banner. There is another Christmas banner, we'll go over that a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. The one here that is important is Chris. Just like Christmas Wiz before her, she is going to dominate the meta for a long time, with even more staying power than Wiz had. So you absolutely need to be pulling on this banner if what you are chasing is arena ranks. So of course we arrive at the question, what should you do? And it boils down to, how much do you like Overlord? Festival Chris is the clear target for the next while. She is by far the best unit we'll get until the 2nd anniversary in the game, and even for a while after that. But the counterpoint is the current Maid Leah banner is also very good. Compared to Ainz and Shaltir, Maid Leah has a much bigger impact on the meta, and missing her will hurt you even more, even though she's permanent. So if all you care about is arena ranks, and you don't have enough quartz to guarantee both Festival Chris and Maid Leah, and the characters on Overlord, my advice to you is actually maybe pass on the Overlord banner. Again, if Overlord is your favorite thing, you should save up and pull on that banner, as these units won't return. But they aren't going to have the huge meta impact that either Leah or Chris will have. And then there's the wonky limited banner. When are we going to be getting limited banners, and just how impactful will our other seasonal limited banners be? Going up until the 2nd anniversary, there will be a second Christmas banner. However, it doesn't matter. Water Iris and Water Aru are not the water trio, and that makes them eminently skippable. They do have some niche usage. Iris is an alternative to her other water form, while Aru just really doesn't see any use because she doesn't combo with the original water trio, but you can safely skip this banner unless you're a collector or whale. The New Year's banner has wind mages. If you don't have eyes, it's very attractive. If you do, they're only pretty good. Vanir especially is a very nice unit, but they're not incredible. Valentine's is just bad, Komeko isn't worth getting, and Erica is rather weak. You can easily skip that limited banner. Looking to the far future, probably after our 2nd anniversary even, we do know we should be getting another collab in the form of the Certain Scientific Railgun collab. I don't know anything really about this anime aside from the fact that it exists, and it's collabed with just about every gacha game I can think of. It does have 2 banners, and most of the units here are quite good. Accelerator in particular is very overpowered in Earth, and the other face characters on the banner are powerful in their own right, Union being somewhat of a dark horse even though she's a lightning mage. The Megamine is a 4-star lightning Megamine and is fine, and Misaka, if you're not talking about the welfare, is very good, while the welfare clone Misaka is only alright. These units are worth getting and pursuing, especially if you like the original property, and as per usual, they won't be showing up again. When they'll come, I just can't say. I do know this is the collab after Overlord, and again, I think it'll probably fall after our 2nd anniversary, but I can't say for sure. We do also know that there will be a Shield Hero and Bofuri collab at some point, but when I don't know, and planning for that is kind of pointless, as they could be well over a year from now. Aside from banners, we of course will have new ways to power up our characters, the first of which will be Ultimate 2 Version 2. Just like the Alt 1.5s, such as the very good Alt 1.5s for mages and Leah that added some much needed buffing to their kits, this is just another version of their second supers. I will say that not everyone gets one. As far as I know, even in Japan, not all of the characters have yet received their version 2 of their second supers. Some of them are useful, and some of them are dusts. They should be fairly cheap to get, so most of the time you'll want to unlock these, but they're not that impactful, aside from Cecily's, which will finally make it so that she's usable. I know that's shocking, but not everyone can be dust. As far as new abilities in the games go, we will be getting the elemental damage buffs on characters. This is a new type of buff, and it's very intuitive. It just boosts elemental damage, so if a character, such as Festival Iris, has a light elemental damage buff, they will deal more elemental damage. These can be selfish or team-wide, and not every character with them is good, but it is a very important buff. It's usually somewhere around 4th in priority after attack, agility, and a weakness debuff on the boss, but if you can fit it into your party, it's very much worth getting. And it should show up sometime after the Festivalist Chris banner. The first character getting it is actually a Snow Cecily, who ends up being quite good. Then we have the somewhat controversial character shards. This is a brand new upgrade system, and it's similar to Trials in the way that it plays out. It unlocks character-specific upgrades. So for example, if you get a Kazuma character shard, you can use that to buff Kazuma as a character. This can be very impactful. You can get up to 23% more damage once you've totally maxed out this progression system. However, it's based on gacha pulls. You can only get shards from event shops and from the gacha, so it's very much whale bait. If you're free to play, you'll just get these as time comes, but it will make it just that much more of a gap between people who are whales and people who are not. This is also why I've been saving my 3 and 4 star tickets, because that is by far the best way to get character shards, by getting a 4-star character and getting the very large amount of shards you get off of that. So to wrap up my thoughts here, the permit banners catching up is overall good. What it means is, if you're a new player coming in, you're not going to be locked out of the meta because it's impossible to get those old collab units, and it's very, very hard to get older limited units because their banners rerun infrequently and have reduced rates when they do come by. It's also good that the next few collabs aren't quite as meta dominant. Missing out on ReZero Megamine or Eyes pretty much kneecaps you as far as being viable in arena or even dungeon goes. But the next few collabs, while they do have good units, they aren't going to be triple S tier meta dominating units. So it's going to be easier to find substitutes and to catch up. Even if missing characters like Eins or Accelerator will be very painful, you can find workarounds. The downside is mostly for those free-to-play players who were snagging those meta units like ReZero Megamine or Christmas Wiz. If you had those two, you could coast for over 6 months with just those two to build a core of a team and get a respectable arena rank pretty much every single time. Since those limited units aren't as powerful anymore, and there will be more units for meta relevant, it won't be as easy to just pick up a couple of units and score a top arena rank anymore. Festival units are really what will define the meta for the next year until the cursed or forbidden units come out, but that won't be until the 3rd anniversary, so that's quite a ways away. As a gacha game, we're always going to be getting new progression systems. My feelings on this are somewhat mixed. While it's cool to have new ways to power up our characters, furthering the gap between free-to-play and whales is never good in my opinion, and you end up with so much crap piled up on top of each other that it becomes very unintuitive to figure out what to do in the game. There also will be no new characters until the 2nd anniversary. That's when we'll get the very cute Lalisa or Lolly Succubus, but she won't come until after the 2nd anniversary, so I won't be releasing any guides on her anytime soon. That's the video, thanks for watching. Happy New Year, and I'm looking forward to another year together in Konosuba Fantastic Days.